Alright, buddy, welcome to From Your Mother's Basement, the show that basically celebrates being a geek. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael. And Jason, I just noticed something while we were watching the intro right then.
What's going on?
You have lost some pretty serious weight in the face since that video was put together.
I really have, actually. I'm thankful.
I'm kind of impressed, dude. You're doing good.
Well, no one wants to be fluffy forever. Let's leave it at that.
Not even fluffy. Did you hear what he's doing?
No.
Gabriel Iglesias? He's doing the DDP yoga. Dude, don't knock it. The shit's cool.
I
It
won't
works.
knock it. I need to try it. I know Nikki was talking to me about it. Same with you. So
Yeah, it does its job, man.
I'll have to check it out when I get home. So, which will be in a few weeks. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyways, Michael, what have you been up to?
Actually, I've been doing all sorts of fun stuff. I told you I finished the original JLA.
Yes.
Anime. I started going over JLU, and I'm getting towards the end of the first season of JLU. Oh my god, it went dark.
Really?
Like, Lex Luthor sabotaged the Watchtower and made them fire the beam weapon and take out an R&D facility to make Superman and the Justice League less popular in the eyes of humanity dark. Yeah. I'm watching this going, holy crap.
That is really cool.
So I've been watching that. I also watched RWBY's out and up and running, and they're up to 4 episodes.
See, I've only seen the trailers. I haven't seen even one episode.
Man. Okay. It's like any anime, and he's doing it in like 5-10 minute segments, so you're not getting a full episode. So they're doing you know how with any anime you spend the first hour or so introducing all the characters, setting up the backstory, explaining what's going on where, yada 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 yada, right? That's what they're doing in the first 4 episodes. There is some fight scenes, and they're pretty cool. I want to see where it's going to go. I think we need to call Monty and schedule an interview.
I'm down for this. We should make this happen.
Well, there's somebody else we need to interview too, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we do.
There's a couple people we need to interview actually,
and we'll definitely get around to that. That's not a problem. So, but me, I've just been working a bunch. I'll get to what I've been watching later on, but I want to, for those of you who are watching this live, I do apologize. We did start late because Japan Expo was hosting an open house tonight. So if you guys were interested in actually becoming a staffer for the convention, you could have stopped on by today. If you could not have made it, you can always head over to the Japan Expo website and fill out a staff or a volunteer form. We can always try to contact you that way. But
we will take your soul. I mean, please come help us.
Yes, but I wanted to mention a couple things about Japan Expo, about some things we may have touched on before, but I just want to repeat them again. One, we've announced some epic guests. Just even recently, we announced Felipe Smith, which people might not recognize the name, but they might recognize his work. He was actually one of the first Americans who won Tokyo Pops the Rising Stars in manga, and was one of the first Americans to actually have a manga printed in Japan. So he's still doing big over there. He's coming down. You also have some veteran voice actors and directors. You have Michael Sinner-Nicholas. He's worked on a ton of stuff. He most recently was actually announced stating that he's going to be directing the English dub for, I believe, Time of Eve, which was a big Kickstarter.
Really?
Yeah. So he's going to be working on...
So Dean Ventures directing Time of Eve.
Dean Ventures directing Time of Eve, yes. You also have another voice actor was just announced, I think, yesterday, Ian Sinclair.
Yeah.
And he,
I heard he was
big
coming.
Funimation voice actor. I mean, roles in like Toriko, Hetalia. I mean, he was Chuck in Panty and Stocking. Yes, there was a voice actor for Chuck. It wasn't just random voices. He was Liam in Full Metal Alchemist and a bunch of others. You guys can find more information about him online. Also, I just want to add one Japanese guest, the Masahiko Minami, which is actually, you might not know the name, but you will know what he's worked on. He is actually the president of Bones, Studio Bones, that has worked on... Whoop. I am, yes. So, Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys
Yeah,
and
I do
girls,
apologize. I will.
this show has been placed on hold very briefly because Japan Expo needs Jason's attention. Thank you.
Sorry about that. We're in an office still working on whatnot, but
Do they need you?
in half a second they will. So why don't you talk about Japan Expo while I'll be right back?
You know more about it than I do. You're at the office, but sure.
But just about the guests, the cool stuff that Studio Bones has done.
Studio Bones has done everything from, well, the biggest thing that Studio Bones is known for is Full Metal Alchemist. So, if I remember correctly, they worked on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, was it? Hang on, let me look it up. Making me work here, Jason.
I am. All right, I guess I need to take a picture of the outside. I do apologize. I will be right back. Michael, take it away.
Oh, gee, thanks. Yeah, so he's been announced. We've also announced Sadamoto. I'm going to bring up the page here because I was not expecting to have to do this, so I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. www.japanexpo.org. What? Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, guests. We have Michael Center Nicholas, Felipe Smith, Ian Sinclair, Masahiko Minami, who has done, let's see, under Bones, he's produced Cowboy Bebop, Knocking on Heaven's Door, Razafon, Full Metal Alchemist, Eureka 7 AO, Blast of Tempest, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we also announced, where's Sadamoto?
Sadamoto's there.
I'm looking. I'm not seeing him.
Well, Sadamoto is...
Ah, there he is.
Most famous.
Yoshiyuki Sadamoto. One of the founding members of Gainax. So he's also does a lot of the illustration and manga covers and manga work for FLCL, Ava, a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff. But
to have someone
Ava
like that
FLCL
here at a
alone.
first-year convention is incredible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know people who are driving up there just to see him.
But yeah, you guys can meet all of these guests and more. You guys want to definitely pre-register, so head over to japan-expo.org. There are a number of reasons why you want to pre-register. First off, you get into the exhibit hall an hour earlier than everybody else. And considering the fact that the way the autographs work is actually a two-tier. The second tier, for those of you who weren't able to get in first come first serve, is actually like a ticketing system, a coupon system. You get a chance, like a draw to get a coupon. But, and I have a Cube. Cube tells you must sign a contract, must go to Japan Expo. Okay. Gotta love it.
Is that Sean?
Yes. But yeah, so I mean, an hour early, and because the first tier is first come first serve, you get in before everybody else. You get in line, you can get yourself a coupon for an autograph.
For autographs, and all sorts of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
And do we have? Is our panel confirmed yet?
I'll confirm after the show.
Okay.
So I will.
We will probably be having a panel at the con. There's another little surprise I'm trying to engineer in the background, but I don't know if we're going to get it or not. I have to. It's something I'm working with the CEO to try and arrange for us.
Gotcha.
But hopefully we're at least going to have a panel.
Aha! I have a hat now.
Oh, that's a hi hat.
All right, I'll put on a hat then. Actually, I kind of like this hat, so cool. I have a hat. Keep on going, Micah. Sorry.
No, that's fine. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. It's coming up the weekend of August 23rd. The event dates are actually, let me go back to the August 23rd through the 25th. Santa Clara Convention Center, Santa Clara, California, just below San Francisco. Very cool place. And it's right next to a theme park.
Right next to a theme park? Yeah. Not to mention...
Go see cool Japanese culture guests and then go ride a roller coaster. Your day is complete.
And better yet, parking is free.
Yes.
No more paying $20 a day for parking.
Perk right there.
So you guys should check that out. But we should move away from Japan Expo stuff. I'm sure we'll be talking about more and more as the days
definitely
go on. Let's talk about movies. And without even giving a description for it, I'm going to jump right in to this first trailer it's a teaser for an upcoming movie that I'm looking forward to. Yes,
Leave it, Scooter.
Yeah, Muppets Most Wanted. the way that the synopsis is written out, it sounds very, very similar to Great Muppet Caper.
Well, I hope they're not doing just a straight remake because,
No,
I mean, Great Muppet Caper was fun. I loved it when I was a kid, but I loved it as an adult, in fact. But I don't think, I'm hoping they're not going to do the same thing.
No, it won't be. I mean, just the synopsis is the entire Muppets gang goes on a global tour selling out grand theaters all across the world.
Okay.
They're going to focus mainly on Europe. So once it's called the Muppets are in Europe, they happen to run into Constantine, the world's #1 criminal, who also, because it's a movie, happens to look exactly like Kermit the Frog. And and Constantine's sidekick is Ricky Gervais.
Oh God.
So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This should prove amusing.
Yes.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Muppets Take Manhattan. That you realize that was the birth of the Muppet Babies, right?
Yes, it was because they have that one scene.
The one scene we're talking about, the little Mama Dada Boop Boop Chihuahua song. Scary that I still remember that.
I could probably sing the whole thing. I'm not going to, but I can probably do it. So that trailer, the teaser trailer,
Oh, no.
Just saved you guys the hassle and pain of having to see that trailer in theaters because that trailer will only be seen before Disney's upcoming movie Planes, which I have no intention of seeing.
I have an intention of seeing it, just not in the theater.
Good point. Very good point. But let's move on real quick. I just want to make this just a point. This thing was incredible. Wait, I'm getting a new background now. I have a new background. I have a Japan Expo event. Actually, that kind of works really well. I like that. Yes, I am wearing the hat. Sean put it on me. See, this is what happens when you do a show and you have have people in the
Yeah,
office.
and you have rowdy coworkers. Oh
Yes.
yeah, totally.
It's great. I don't care. It's good. Let's talk about a bad movie that's getting a sequel. It's so bad it's good. Sharknado is getting a sequel.
Yes, but I don't know about the name.
Well, because when they showcased Sharknado on Sci-Fi Channel, they had this running thing where fans could tweet in their own...
Oh yeah. Did you see some of those?
Yeah, it was great. You guys can talk. It doesn't matter. You can talk normal volume.
Do you remember Sharknado? I think the favorite one I saw the tweets was Sharknado 2. Chew York.
Yes. But they decided to go for, I guess, a better or just so bad it could work.
What I love about it, and I think the reason it worked so well is, Sci-Fi is not exactly known for making good original content, and they buy most of it from Canada anyway. But the idea that they just finally realized, you know what? Nobody takes us seriously. Screw it. Let's just have fun with the movie. Because none of the actors could take that crap seriously.
Oh no,
they were. They had to know that. I mean, and the way they blew it up and played it up, I love the fact that they're not taking themselves so seriously and they're just having fun with it. Because the special effects were so bad, the models of the sharks were so bad, the textures were so bad.
Come on,
A shark comes at a guy with a chainsaw and does a and splits the shark in half. That was cool.
Yes, it was. And we know it's all coming back, and they've given an official title, Sharknado 2, the second one. They could have gone so much better.
Chew York was so much better.
Yes. Oh, well. So that's in the works. But we're going to talk a lot later on the show about, there were many events that were going on this past weekend. D23 Expo, Otakon. I was watching 3 things this week, 3 tournaments. The Dota 2 tournament, the StarCraft America tournament, and yes, the Pokemon trading card game tournament.
You had me up until Pokemon.
I just had to watch it for the hell of it. But we're going to, before we get to all those...
I'm going to beat you with Charizard!
Hey, for $100,000, I'll do it.
That's true. Can't really knock... You can't sneeze too bad at that.
This is true. But I do want to bring up an upcoming series. Well, this has just started. It's a web series, and it features characters from World of Warcraft. And this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Again, this is a reason...
They're doing it in-house, right?
Yes, this is in-house. Best thing about it, this is not CG. This is a webcomic basically called The Burdens of Xiao Hao.
Oh,
And
that, yes.
and
Yes,
I'm
yes,
gonna
yes.
play the prelude for you right now.
That is effing gorgeous.
Yes, it is. Again, just further proof that Blizzard can be more than just a
Blizzard,
video
make
game
your own
company.
damn movie.
And it doesn't even have to be this live action CG Warcraft movie. It could be
Which is
just
going to
stuff
be
like
cool, by the
it
way.
will be, but you can do stuff like that and it'd be amazing.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah,
incredible.
totally.
Now, by the way, Michael, did you happen to recognize the narrator voice?
Yeah. I can't remember the exact, but I've heard the voice is the voice of Chen Stormstout. Or no, I'm sorry. It's the same voice of the lore speaker Cho.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. And it's familiar. I can't place the actor's name though.
Okay. The voice actor's name is Jim Cummings, who has done a number of characters in World of Warcraft, but has done
Not that kind of work. Oh wait.
has done hundreds of cartoon voices, including he's the current voice of Winnie the Pooh. He's the voice of Tigger. He was the voice of Darkwing Duck.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So Lore Walker Cho is Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm.
I am the panda that flies in the night.
There's a video I showed on. It was in post show of Anna Break a couple weeks back, where Jim Cummings was actually at a Comic-Con somewhere Midwest, and was doing one of the those panels where they get a bunch of voice actors together and read through a script, but in different voices.
Oh yeah.
He decided it was they did Star Wars. It was Episode
Again.
4. It was where the Empire was boarding the rebel ship in the first scene. And he turned around and had it was the first. Actually, it was the first scene between Princess Leia
and
and
Vader.
Darth Vader. But Jim Cummings did the voice of Darth Vader as Winnie the Pooh.
Oh my God.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance, and it was great.
Oh,
you
bother,
can find it
Princess.
online.
Darth Pooh.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. You guys need to check that out. Anyways, that's getting on a side story, but because we have so much
I'm
to
just
talk.
having visions of Darkwing Duck as a dark Jedi.
Darkwing Duck.
find your lack of faith disturbing.
Darkwing Duck was actually he used the voice of Darkwing Duck for one of the generals,
Nice.
so you can find it online.
I need to go looking for that.
But speaking of Star Wars, and I didn't plan this transition, it just worked. Speaking
And
of
this week's position of Disney is...
we've all seen Star Wars in one form or another. We've either seen all the movies, we've read the books, we may even read some of the comic series. Well, there's actually a new comic series coming out, and this one has fairly big significance. I'm just going to play the trailer. Yes, we have a trailer for a comic book, but it's well worth it. So,
I see something that needs to be in my collection.
yes, same here. Because
OMFG.
yeah, so you get the original version of the Star
Yeah,
Wars.
I figured it had to be based off that. The minute I saw him, the minute I saw Starkiller, and I'm like, wait a minute, that was the original name for Skywalker.
It's going to be an 8-issue series. It's going to start September 4th all over the country. You can go to your local
Let's
comic
get
shop and
added
pick
to
it
my
up.
whole list.
Yes. And especially for the fact that it's being handled by Dark Horse.
Dark Horse does good stuff.
They do. They really do. And the fact that they got the rights to this, I wonder if this was actually in the works. It should have. I'm guessing it probably was in the works before Disney bought all of that as Lucas.
Possibly,
But yeah,
because those kind of deals take a long time to negotiate.
not to mention you have to modify the script a little bit to fit the comic. And of course, you have to get the designs down. And I mean, there's a lot of work to this, and it's gonna be
Well, for a lot of those designs, though, they could have just gone to the old Ralph McQuarrie, and who was McQuarrie, and who was the other guy?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Concept art.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they could have done that easily. Of course, I mean, it'll be great to read it because I mean, we all have an idea of how Star Wars looks in our, from what we've read, what we've seen, and this will be a completely different take. And this is something directly from Lucas's head, so we could all see whether or not George Lucas was more insane than we all thought he was. So,
Well, the thing is, if they're genuinely doing it off of the original rough draft script, if he submitted to that, I'm curious. I am deeply curious.
Well, we don't have too much longer, September 4th, so... Which is shortly before my birthday, hint, hint, wink, wink. Moving on, speaking of Disney, this weekend, it's just wrapped up. It was actually D23, Disney's own giant convention, where...
It's BlizzCon for Disney.
It really is BlizzCon for Disney. It really is. So, and of course, they showcased...
It's DizCon!
No comment. And so they had a number of reveals and first footage coverage and whatnot. We're going to go...
on the new Tron?
Nothing on Tron. And
Bastards.
more to the point, nothing on Star Wars.
Well, they're going to bite their tongue on that.
They have to, I guess. So, but let's go through it real quick.
I honestly don't expect to hear anything major on Star Wars until May 4th.
Celebration?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's coming back to LA.
Oh, that's right. I wonder if they'll fix all the problems they had from last time.
I hope so.
Yeah. Anyways, some first things they showcased. They're doing a bunch of live-action remakes of their classic films. Shock. First off, Maleficent.
I'm curious about this one.
Especially because Maleficent is actually played by Angelina Jolie.
Which is kind of amusing because they did... there was a series of an extremely famous Hollywood photographer known for doing portraits and stuff of celebrities and presidents and everybody.
Oh, and something I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. She did a series of Disney shots or shots based on Disney characters. And one of them was Angelina Jolie as Maleficent, if I remember. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, she was Maleficent.
I believe it was.
So it was kind of interesting foreshadowing.
Although I do find it interesting, a little bit of a side note, that early on in the film, Maleficent is talking to, this little princess. And in order to actually get the shot right, they actually had to use one of Angelina's own kids to play the role for the little princess, because every other little girl that they brought in to do a film test
was terrified
of Angelina Jolie in the Maleficent outfit with the horns and everything.
The other one's going, "Mama!"
Yeah, it's just like, mommy's playing, let's play along. Where the other girls were like, "Get me away from the scary woman with the horns."
That's epic.
So, they also gave, I can't even say an inside look. Basically, you had Brad Bird on stage talking about the upcoming movie Tomorrowland, and they talked for over an hour about all these little bits and pieces that they found that they're using as inspiration for this movie. Still told us dick all about the movie, what it's going to be about. Although one of the interesting bits that they did showcase was actually a picture, a black and white photo of Walt Disney with Amelia Earhart. Now, for those of you who know history, that is historically impossible because she disappeared years before.
Borderline, yeah.
And so I guess they found out that it was an Imagineer way back when actually used old school photography methods and actually imprinted Walt Disney's face on a picture of someone else in a picture with Amelia Earhart.
Nice.
So
nice.
It's just cool stuff like that. They showcase stuff about like Saving Mr. Banks, we already shown the trailer for. But then they get to before we get to the Pixar stuff, of course, we have to show it, just a screenshot. But this is a new screenshot for their CG Marvel film, Big Hero 6, which, oh, come on, really? This is becoming more and more like the Japanese version of The Incredibles, but actually, to me, the way this
so that's San Francisco, dude.
San Francisco.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which still takes place in Japan. So they basically grabbed the Golden Gate Bridge, moved it to Japan, did some minor cosmetic tweaks, and gave everyone an Astro Boy makeover.
Do you remember the cartoon Terrible Thunder Lizards?
Can't say I have.
Okay. There was a character in there, and all he ever did was, because stuff kept hitting him, and all he ever said was, "What I'm feeling right now when I hear this. When does the hurting stop?"
When it finally comes out in theaters. So they're going full bore with this. Not surprising. Pixar is doing some sequels to their very popular movies, and we did find out.
I mean, did you hear what the basic take on Monsters U is, and it's still running?
Mm-hmm.
It's already made over $300 million.
there's actually going to be a new short that they're working on right now in the Monsters U time frame that'll be shown in a future or before a future Pixar film. And it was actually one of the executives of Pixar was actually on stage, and it confirmed that the Disney executives, at least the account side, was basically saying, we want you to make sequels because that's our bread and butter, sequels to everything. And Pixar went back and said, that's not what we do.
Yeah, no.
So now
Pixar, if they have a good story for a sequel, can do
Exactly.
it. Like Toy Story 2 worked, kind of.
Kind of.
I think Toy Story 3 worked better.
And so at least they've got this bit going now where the accountants will go to Pixar saying, we want you to make a sequel to said franchise. And Pixar will come back and saying, okay, we'll think of an idea, and if it's a story we want to do and we think it's feasible, then we'll get back to you. And one of the ones they were talking about was Finding Dory.
Oh,
And
God.
yeah, so this takes place a year after the end of Finding Nemo. And this is actually revolving around the search for Dory's family. Dory's parents are going to be voiced by Diane Keaton and Eugene Levy.
Oh, that should be amusing.
The new sidekick is actually named Bailey, which is a young beluga whale. Why? So, we know that's coming out.
Yeah. Well, that happened.
Although, they did announce...
It's going to be like Supernatural, the anime. Well, that happened.
Hey, look, it's in the bargain bin. Still not cheap enough. But they did announce actually a couple new IPs. First up was actually The Good Dinosaur. This is basically starts off with a what if. What if 65 million years ago that asteroid missed Earth? So it's actually a story between a dinosaur and a caveman boy.
Well, that should be interesting.
And
I mean, Pixar's really good at buddy picks.
And some of the voice cast includes John Lithgow, Bill Hader, Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, they have good talent. They're going to throw a lot of cool stuff behind it. And I mean, the idea
and Bill Hader, that scares me.
and the idea behind it does look pretty cool. That's going to come out next May. The other one was actually called Inside Out, and this one is another what if. What if you took all the emotions inside a little girl and gave them all their own personalities?
Uh-oh.
And so the little girl is 11 years old.
So it's Sybil, the animation.
Kind of, yeah. Especially who they have to voice all these characters.
Uh-huh.
So Anger is voiced, and this is the brilliant bit of casting. Anger is voiced by Lewis Black.
Oh, nice. Nice.
You have Bill Hader again, who's going to voice Fear. Amy Poehler is going to voice Joy. Sadness is going to play by Phyllis Smith. And someone named Mindy Kaling is going to voice the emotion Disgust.
Oh, my.
Like, this, honestly, to me, sounds like The Truman Show in reverse.
The thing with Truman Show, though, was... Yeah, okay. Yeah, kind of. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. But there was a lot more information about D23, but you guys can find more about that online. That's only as much as I can stomach right now. Let's say that. Because there's some cool stuff that Disney does, and then there's some cool stuff that Disney... Or there's some stuff that Disney I just don't agree with.
Yeah.
But moving forward, we also had the other major convention going on this past weekend, which was Otakon. And I've been following, Twitter, Facebook, everybody who was there. Everyone is stating that Otakon beat AX by a full mile this year. I mean,
they pulled out a lot of stops this year.
Mm-hmm.
They had some kick-ass stuff going on.
I mean, it was, and I'll just pull this up. The president of Anime News Network actually made a post on Twitter.
What did Chris say?
The gist of it was that seeing Yoko Kanno's Piano.me concert was one of the most emotional and pleasurable experiences he can remember in recent memory.
Well, you remember, I mean, the woman is, I mean, obviously anything she plays,
Yoko Kanno,
watching her perform is fantastic. Working with her, I mean, when I got to work with her at Axe, that was, the highest high of my life was working that event.
Oh, I believe it. And of course, Otakon made the announcement that they're going to move locations. They're no longer going to be in Baltimore starting in 2017. They're going to be in D.C.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you
They
about the
finally
story.
outgrow Baltimore?
I'll tell you the big story about that afterwards.
Okay.
But it's not all about the concerts, which were still epic, but the announcements.
Funimation made some really cool announcements.
This just in, Funimation raided the carcass of Bandai Entertainment, and
But
Sentai
you know what?
Filmworks
At
got the
least it was
leftovers.
Funimation that did it.
This is true. I mean, even though Sentai got some good titles like Big O, seasons 1 and 2, which is great, Funimation kind of like kicked everyone else down with the announcement. Yeah, we got the license for Cowboy Bebop. We're gonna re-release it on Blu-ray stateside in 2014.
Yes.
They also grabbed other titles like Escaflowne the movie, and of course the Escaflowne TV show, the entire My Hime series, and Outlaw Star. So I mean, if you haven't
I
picked these
wouldn't
up,
mind going through Outlaw Star again.
so if
That was
you
a
guys
fun show.
haven't picked these up before, haven't seen them, you have no excuse anymore. You must be watching these.
What's funny is I've seen all of Bebop except the last episode.
And I've been to your house how many times? And I could have brought
It's
this.
the only episode I haven't seen is the last episode. And I haven't seen all of Heaven's Door either. But
I'm gonna
Yeah.
sit you down and.
we're gonna educate you, son.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But kind of tied in with Cowboy Bebop, the director Shinichiro Watanabe revealed a brand new original comedy anime called Space Dandy, and you can go online and find videos of the trailer because it's about Dandy in space, and it's complete comedy. I swear the main character looks like what was the crazy stupid cowboy in Cowboy Bebop?
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
But he looks exactly like this character. And it's funny because they all listen to music, but the most advanced form of audio entertainment that they have, apparently in this universe for this anime, are cassettes. So people are
They have
making mixtapes.
spaceships.
Yeah,
They have beam weapons. But their audio's all analog tape.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
so,
legit. It looks legit.
yeah, so the lead character, Dandy, is an alien hunter, which calls himself the dandiest man in space. You know where this is going. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So,
Speaking of which, that reminds me when we get to the what you watch lately, because I saw something that just broke my brain.
okay. That's going to be it for the Otakon news, but we have to talk about Miku because we know,
We now have a release date.
yes, Hatsune Miku English version 3.0 will be available stateside, only in download form at first, but it will be available, August 31st?
August
And
31st in the U.S.
And the price is actually better than I expected.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the price. It's still more money than I can afford right now, but it is a decent price.
Yes.
Maybe I should call up Krypton and see if I can. Never mind.
Yes, it is going for $149.99, so...
$150, and you can get the English Miku, and they're also using it as a launching pad for their own editing software.
Mm-hmm.
They still haven't answered the question if the English voice pack is going to be compatible with the Yamaha software, though.
Well, what they've stated in the release information that it will include everything from version 1.0 and 2.0, so that tells me yes, and append. So.
Oh wait a minute! It's
yeah.
$150 for 1, 2, and a pen.
It says it includes all that stuff from 1, 2, and append, and it'll work PC and Mac.
Well, the other one already does that, but still, wow.
Yeah,
That's making it even better. Not that I need 2 copies of legitimate Japanese Miku, but hey.
Hey, you never know. Besides, to tie in with this, of course, this always ties around Miku's birthday. This is her 6th birthday. And, of course, she's going to do a concert. And this year, it's going to be the Miku Magical Mirai Concert 2013. And the nice thing about this one is that if you guys are in Los Angeles or New York, you don't have to sit in your room watching a tiny 320 by 240 stream. There actually is several theaters in those cities, LA and New York, that will actually show this simulcast in theaters.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to this. I hope you
It's
are
going to be
too, Mike.
live simulcast?
I believe a delay of like 2 hours.
We are there.
Yes, we are definitely there.
We are
So
there.
we will find time for it. Now, tickets will be $20 a pop, but that seems to be the standard fare for these streamed concerts. But
It's not bad.
still, yeah, it's 20
I mean,
bucks.
you're not going to get for the quality you're going to get, the visuals you're going to get. You're not going to get a real concert ticket that cheap.
No. Definitely not. So yeah, we'll let you guys know where we're going to be at if you guys want to join us. So, all right, let's end before we get to what we're watching. We have a new Kickstarter for you guys to check out.
You guys need to check this stuff out. So basically, what's going on is yesterday at Hypno, yes, it's the weekly Hypno spot. We had John Bogdanov, who, for those of you who don't know the name, he's for years was a artist at Marvel and at DC. He's worked on X-Force, X-Men. He's most known for having worked on Superman, Man of Steel. He was also one of the key designers, artists, and conceptualists for the death and rebirth of Superman, as well as co-creator of the Steel character at DC. He was doing a signing at Hypno last night. Guy's a really cool guy. I mean, we BS'd for a while. He's a great guy. In fact, we have a very strong possibility of getting an interview with him in the not too distant future. From his, and I have to make arrangements through his son, who he named Kal-El. You would think a kid would be resentful of that. He's proud as hell of it. So, what's going on is, John Bogdanov rather, in association with Chris Faella and his son, Kal-El, are doing a independent creator-owned comic called Strongman. Basically, did you get the video queued up for this?
It's queued up and ready to go.
Okay. Basically, I'll let him explain it because it's really cool. So, if you guys are at all interested in this, please support it. This is looking like a fantastic story, a fantastic world in which to tell stories. When I was talking with John about it last night, and he was telling me some of the ideas and some of the little nuances that are going to be in it, and it sounds fantastic. I really, as much as I wanted to see Piro's piece happen, I want to see this happen. It's going through the 25th. It started on the 16th. I would have mentioned it sooner had I known about it. I just found out about it last night. It's going through Monday, the 26th of August. Their goal is for 200,000. They're currently only at 15,721. So there's a ways to go. But if you guys are interested and you want to be a part of this, there's some really cool stuff that goes with it. Some of the swag, some of the ideas. You can have characters that are designed after you if you really want to throw some money at this. There's tell your friends, let's make this happen, because this sounds like a really cool, fun story.
It really does sound a lot of fun, like I said, like a lot of fun. And I'm looking at the pledge levels. I mean, if you just want the basic digital version, it's $15. If you want just the print version, the basic print version, it's $25. If you want the soft cover edition, it's $45. I mean, it's pretty inexpensive if you want the really cool stuff.
Right, but if you want to get the uber cool stuff, there's the $5,000 where you can have John will show up, do a 3-day lecture, discussion, or class on the topic of your choice, anything from an illustration to an informative lecture regarding a career in the comics industry and the risks involved therein. Oh, hang on, my thing just shifted. Sorry, guys. There we go. Challenges involved tackling with creator-owned project like Strongman. You choose the dates that will work best for you, and the pledge amount and the international shipping fee covers John's travel arrangements and accommodations. So, I mean, you can go all out, you know? That's like saying, hey, pledge the next Nine Inch Nails album, and if you donate X amount of money, Trent Reznor will camp out at your pad, you know?
Yes, very true.
This guy, and he's, like I said, he's a really cool guy. I mean, Scott Lobdell was fun as a writer. And he was a great guy. Having talked with John, John's just as cool, and he's also he's not just an artist. He's actually genuinely a fan. And I don't mean in the fanboy sense, but he genuinely loves the medium. I mean, for Christ's sake, he named his kid Kal-El. He loves the medium.
True. Very true.
So please, guys, if you can, go to Kickstarter.com, do a search for Strongman Volume 1, and please help donate. Tell your friends. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, you guys definitely need to back this. I'm probably going to throw some money at this tonight. So
I will be throwing money at it as soon as I get paid on Wednesday.
All right, Michael, as we always wrap these shindigs we call From Mother's Basement up, what have you been watching? Besides some really messed up
I mentioned what I showed earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but I also came across something that broke my brain, and that is not easy to do. I'm the guy who sat through a marathon run of Excel Saga, and while I loved every minute of it, it didn't break my brain. 6 episodes of Plastic Nason broke me. I was just like, what the hell is this? The one that got me, what's funny is what got me started on looking for it, was there's an animated GIF out there of the scene where the baseball guy saves the 2 kids who are being beat up by the thugs, and he rips his shirt, he flexes his pecs and rips his shirt off, and he's got a sports bra on. And then he does this thing where he flexes his arms and it shoots the sports bra and hits the guy in the face. And then he's doing this weird humpy, thrusty. Oh, God, it broke me.
We may have to.
It
watch
is hilarious
that in the post show.
I want to see them. I want to see more of this show. This is like Ebichu level crack.
It really is. It really is. So we'll talk about. We'll show a little more of that.
Do you have that scene? Because if you can find that scene, that scene's epic.
I'll see what I can do. All right.
And what have you been watching?
A lot of streams, because this weekend there were streams for, like I said, the Dota 2 International Championships, the StarCraft 2 American Championships. I did watch a little bit of the Pokemon card game championships just because I wanted to see how that turned out. It was weird. I actually came into work yesterday. Yes, I know, coming into work on a weekend. And decided to take a lunch break. And I was like, I'll watch some anime. And just caught up on a bunch of stuff. And ended up watching anime for like 4 hours straight.
By the way, it's not yaoi, Kathy. Kathy the Gods is like, what, reading yaoi will make your eyes bleed. The show isn't yaoi.
No, it's just random.
It's not even close to yaoi. It's just incredibly random.
But yeah, so I just caught up on some anime here and there, which I'll go into detail during Anna Break on Wednesday. So that's about it for me. So, and I think that's about it for this episode of From My Mother's Basement. Again, sorry for the delay. Working in a very busy office. It's only going to get busier as we get closer to Japan Expo.
Yes, and we will be doing a show next Sunday. The Sunday of Japan Expo, we don't know for sure if we'll do a show. We'll have an answer for you next week.
Yes, we'll let you guys know.
But we will definitely have footage and coverage of Japan Expo for you guys. We're going to be videotaping stuff. We're going to try and swing some interviews. I'm going to try and flex our staff powers and see if we can't get us some interviews, at least with Sinner Nicholas.
That would be fun.
Oh, it's yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Stay tuned for post show and for From My Mother's Basement. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we'll see you guys next week.